The Bond of Three, Chapter 1, A Tragic Beginning. The night was dark, and the wind howled outside the small village hospital. Inside, amidst the cries of newborns, 3 tiny infants lay side by side, unaware of the fate that had befallen them. Their father, Daniel Carter, had died months before their birth in an unfortunate accident at the construction site where he worked. Their mother, Evelyn, had fought hard to bring them into the world but succumbed to complications during childbirth. The doctor sighed as he looked at the 3 babies. "Orphans from birth," he whispered. "What will become of them?" The village priest, Father Thomas, who had been called upon, stepped forward. "They will not be alone," he said solemnly. "We will find a way to care for them." Thus began the story of the Carter triplets, Alexander, Benjamin, and Catherine, 3 souls bound by tragedy, yet destined for greatness. Chapter 2, The Village's Guardianship. With no immediate family to claim them, the triplets were raised by the village community. Each family took turns caring for them, but it was Father Thomas and the kindly widow Margaret who played the most significant roles in their upbringing. Margaret, who had lost her own son years ago, took them in as her own, providing warmth and comfort in an otherwise uncertain world. The triplets grew up knowing love but also feeling the absence of their parents. Alexander, the eldest by mere minutes, became the protective one. Benjamin, the middle child, was the dreamer, always lost in books and stories. Catherine, the youngest, was fierce and independent, determined to prove she needed no one's pity. Despite their differences, they shared an unbreakable bond, always looking out for one another. Chapter 3, Trials of Childhood. Growing up without parents was not easy. The triplets faced whispers behind their backs, cruel taunts from jealous children, and moments of deep loneliness. But they never let their circumstances define them. Alexander stood up to bullies, Benjamin drowned himself in his studies, and Catherine learned to fight her own battles, sometimes with her fists, much to Margaret's dismay. As they grew older, their differences became more pronounced. Alexander longed to be a leader, someone who could protect not just his siblings but the entire village. Benjamin dreamed of escaping the small town to pursue knowledge and uncover the mysteries of the world. Catherine, ever the rebel, wanted to carve her own path, refusing to let society dictate what a woman should or shouldn't do. Yet no matter their dreams or disagreements, they always found their way back to each other. Chapter 4. The Unexpected Letter. On their 18th birthday, a letter arrived, one that would change their lives forever. It was from a lawyer in the city, revealing a shocking truth. Their parents had left behind a considerable inheritance, hidden away until they came of age. The letter also mentioned an old family estate, one they had never known existed. With hearts full of curiosity and uncertainty, they decided to leave the village and uncover the truth about their family's past. Chapter 5. The Journey to the Unknown. Leaving the only home they had ever known was not easy, but the promise of discovering their origins was too tempting to ignore. As they traveled to the city, they faced new challenges. A a world far different from the simple life of their village. They soon arrived at the lawyer's office, where they learned that their father had come from a wealthy lineage. However, with wealth came enemies. Their inheritance was being contested by distant relatives who believed the triplets had no right to it. Determined not to be pushed aside, they decided to fight for what was rightfully theirs. But as they delved deeper into their family's past, they uncovered secrets that shook them to their core. Chapter 6: The Shadows of the Past. The estate was vast and beautiful, yet it held an air of mystery. Old letters, hidden documents, and whispers from long-forgotten servants revealed a history of betrayal and deception. Their father had fled from this world, choosing love over wealth, but the past had a way of catching up. Alexander, ever the protector, wanted to stay and reclaim their legacy. Benjamin saw the estate as a treasure trove of knowledge, a place where he could uncover the truth. Catherine, however, felt suffocated by the walls of privilege and deceit. As they unraveled their family's story, they found themselves caught in a dangerous game where trust was a luxury they could not afford. Chapter 7: The Battle for Their Future. Enemies emerged from the shadows, those who wanted to keep the inheritance out of their hands, those who sought to silence them. A legal battle ensued, but it was more than just a fight for wealth. It was a fight for their identity, for their right to exist beyond the tragic circumstances of their birth. Alexander proved his strength as a leader, rallying support. Benjamin used his intellect to outmaneuver their opponents, and Catherine's fiery spirit ensured they never backed down. But just when they thought they had won, a final revelation turned their world upside down. Chapter 8: The True Legacy. In the depths of the estate, hidden within their father's old journals, they found the real reason he had left everything behind. He had not just fled for love, he had fled to protect them from a curse that plagued their bloodline. The realization left them shaken, but they refused to be bound by the past. They had survived without parents, without privilege, and they would forge their own path, no matter the cost. With newfound purpose, they chose to use their inheritance not for luxury, but to help those in need. They turned the estate into a sanctuary for orphans, ensuring no child would ever have to suffer as they had. Chapter 9: The Bond That Never Breaks. Years passed, and the triplets grew into legends. Alexander became a leader who protected the weak, Benjamin a scholar who educated the lost, and Catherine a warrior who fought for justice. They built a legacy not from wealth, but from love, resilience, and unity. Though their parents had left them too soon, they honored their memory in the best way possible, by proving that even in the face of tragedy, the bond of three could withstand anything. What did you think of their journey? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.